Hi everyone, you may remember recently I did a video where I was showing you these gorgeous flakes that were from Spectrum Noir that I'd had a bit of a bargain with, getting 3 for £10. They're absolutely lovely, and I thought, what shall I try them in? Now, I did try them in my dragon mould. Didn't work so well because it's a matte mould, so whilst it's a nice effect, it didn't do what I wanted it to. So I thought what we need is a shiny mould. Now, I think this one is a popular little guy. A lot of people have got this one, I think, because it's a fairly cheap mould and it's all right and it's nice and shiny. So I thought we'd have a go. Now I'm going to use, I think I'm going to go with that copper again and this green pigment. Got my resin mix, just letting it degas a little bit because as usual I've introduced a load of bubble stirring, and well, let's see what happens. First thing to do, of course, is to get the flakes in there. So I'm just going to use a little brush. I might need some tweezers. These are just called Gilding Flakes. I'll put you the link for everything below. Strangely, I couldn't find these on the Spectrum Noir website, but I did find them in a branch of Crafter's Companion. I also need to have a look at the American site to see if I can find them there. If I do, the links will be down below for that as well. Now, this needs separating up really, but what I'm going to do is just pour absolutely tons in like that, put it out the way, put the lid on so it doesn't blow everywhere, and get in there with my little brush and see how much of this will stick to the mould. I'm hoping quite a lot. Mustn't forget his little legs. Yeah, it looks like it's sticking just fine. So I'll just keep going. Now this is a bit of a slapdash way of doing it, but these are big flakes. But if you remember from my other video, they're a lot shinier than the normal flakes that we get because they haven't had got that like scrunched effect going on. So I'm going to try and get them into all the nooks and crannies. I won't be offended if you fast forward, but I thought I'd not speed this up so that if anybody wants to see what's going on, it's quite satisfying. Then I leave that to your decisions. You do what you want. Yes, as you can see, these flakes, they're big, they're shiny. The gilding foil as opposed to just mica flakes. Don't ask me what the real difference is with that. Maybe these have more, these are actual metal content. Don't know. But they're certainly a lot shinier than the normal sort of gilding foils that I get. So it's interesting to say the least. There's a load up there. Let's get some into his leg. Now what I'm going to do, that green I just showed you, it's like a lime green. So I'm not going to want to get too much into this into his little feet, just enough for a little sparkle. Like so. Mostly his tail now I want to get this into. Now I'm not too worried if there's a load left loose in here. I could tip it out, I suppose, and you know, tap it on the surf on my mat and get some of the loose stuff out, but I think it'll just sort of sink or, you know, float to the surface or do whatever it wants to do. Not going to worry too much. Whatever it does, it might be interesting if I leave the green rather translucent so you can see what it's doing in a little bit. I don't know. As you can see, this is sticking pretty well to this little mould. I'm going to sort of go around it quite firmly, really, at last, I think, because it'll burnish it onto the surface, so to speak. So you seem to have a creaky floorboard in here. Very odd. I was tempted to just back this with black, because that is the, you know, it's the sort of go-to thing to back things with, isn't it? I backed that dragon with red, which I'm not sure that really did it any favours, but I don't know, I just thought green for this little guy. Right, I think that's brushed in as well as it's going to. It's stuck as much as it's going to. So let's go. Right, so that is already mixed up here. As you can see, the bubbles are already clearing. I'm going to put a few drops of this pigment in. I'll put you a link for this pigment. It's a translucent one. It's one that it doesn't tell you a brand name on. It just says resin colorant. But I think I've got the link somewhere still. As you can see, that's quite a nice lime green. And I think I want more colour to it than that. Gosh, this bottle takes a lot of squeezing. It's a two-hand squeeze, that one. I always wipe my stirring sticks, then I can reuse them. Very rarely end up having to replace the stirring sticks. Now, before I go filling this up with anything, I'm going to have a quick clean up, because I don't want to move it once it's full of stuff. So let's just get the worst stuff. Right, here he is. Now look, you can see how shiny that is. So I'm hoping that will transfer, you know, that is what it will look like on the other side. It is a shiny mould, so, you know, I hope so. The resin I'm using, by the way, is a 1-to-1 resin. It's an Apex one from Just For You Online. Now, there is a discount code for you for Just For You Online down in the description below. It's just a regular 1-to-1, but it is okay for quite a decent thickness. You can go up to, I think, officially 3 centimetres. I have seen more. And it'll take quite high temperatures as well. Did they tell me 90 degrees? It'll certainly cope with being a coaster. You know, that putting hot cups of tea on it and things like that. So it's a nice resin. You can see, despite all the bubbles I got into it, that has already cleared. It's amazing, isn't it? Right, here we go. I've got the little guy out of the mould. I haven't actually looked yet. Wanted to show you this side though first. Isn't that lovely? With the gold flakes just floating, as well as the shimmer, the shiny background. That was rather lovely. Anyway, here we go. Oh, I say. Now, I think I'm going to want to draw in some details, give me a little eye and all that sort of thing. But look at that metallic finish. Isn't that gorgeous? And just a little bit of green showing through here and there, around the sides and so on. A little bit of trimming to do, I can see. Yeah, around his little legs and things like that. But that is awesome. So I'll get some detail put into him. I'll get those little eyes done and so on. And then I'll take some photos. And that's done for this quickie video. If you've liked this video, just give me a thumbs up if you would, please. Buttons down here. Thank you so much to my subscribers and to my channel members, and to anyone who's bought me a coffee or sent me a super thanks or anything like that recently. It's much appreciated, and of course all that support goes back into helping keep this channel going and investing in new materials to show you. So thank you, I really appreciate it. See you for the next one then, folks. Bye.